As time goes by, there are fewer and fewer veterans to pass on their memories of this momentous time in history. It's vital that we take time to mark the importance of their sacrifices. Denmead is very proud of our service personnel, our veterans, and those that paid the ultimate price in giving their lives so that we can live freely and in peace. They shall not be forgotten. Today, we hear the poem Heroes, written by Roy Palmer, Chelsea pensioner and herald, a tribute to the many thousands of children killed by enemy action and over 1.5 million evacuees or unattended children. My mum was one of those. Here's the poem.
D-Day made heroes. It is D-Day, the 6th of June 1945. Operation Overlord commenced, leaving our world in awe. The planning started in 1943, bringing allies together to make our world free. Everything was kept most secret and kept hush-hush as allies gathered resources for their big push. More than 5,000 ships, the biggest armada ever seen, sailed from British shores and our fields of green. Monty's battle plan was written on one sheet of paper, set for June the 5th, the day of their departure. Bad weather caused a 24-hour delay. The conditions changed and they got underway. 50,000 men of every creed will perform acts of courage that must succeed. There were soldiers, sailors, airmen, and the merchant navy. Over the English Channel to Normandy, France will go, to land on beaches called Sword, Gold, Utah, Omaha, and Juneau. Were they afraid? Yes, they most certainly were. But the world must be saved. That was their spur. The time had come to fight. No further need for speeches. Over 10,000 casualties the Allies had the first day. With over 4,000 dead, a heavy price to pay, D-Day made heroes in that hell unknown, helping turn the tide of war.
On behalf of Denmead Parish Council, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today to mark this momentous day and pay our respects, especially to the service personnel and more especially to the children as well. Thank you so much for coming.
They're the best friends.
Oh, I like this. My name is Beatrice Merton. I was in the Women's Auxiliary Air Force as a driver, and I drove many of the poor men who didn't come back to the sands where they held on to save the country. I'm greatly honoured, and I'm very honoured to lay a wreath today in their honour of all the men in the past wars who have passed away. Thank you. D-Day to me is, well, in their lives it was just another day, but they weren't living to see the next one, which is very sad. All those lovely, strong young men passing away on the beach. It makes me sad to think about it. Anyway, I'm glad of this opportunity to pay them all the honour that they deserve, and I do.
For that way.
It's things that I feel. I knew some of those young men. One particular young airman I knew, and I knew his wife, and it was so sad that he went. They'd only been married a little
That's
while.
what we want, isn't it? It was beautiful.
Yes, it was very sad. But then there you are. That's life, isn't it? What?
What's your medal for?
My medal? God knows. It was for serving during the war, and I used to drive a big Fordson, which took a lot of men to the beach, and I also used to drive a staff car, which used to take the men out to the plane, and I'd wait and hope and pray that they would all come back. Some didn't, and some didn't. And then, you know, it was a great joy and a laugh, and we'd all go and have a beer. And it was a great sadness and a sorrow. But we went and had a beer anyway.
She did. You have to toast them, don't you?
There you are. What more can I say?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our conclusion of the commemorations of the anniversary, the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Thank you so much for coming this evening. It's lovely to see so many of you here. I have the honour of reading the International Tribute this evening. Let us remember those who gave their lives at home and abroad during the D-Day landings, whose sacrifice enables us all to enjoy the peace and freedom we have today. Let us remember those who came home wounded, physically and mentally, and the friends and family who cared for them. Let us remember those who returned to restore their relationships and rebuild their working lives after years of conflict and turmoil. Let us remember the families that lost husbands, wives, sons, daughters, and sweethearts. Let us remember the servicemen and women and merchant seafarers of all nationalities, from all countries, who fought, suffered and died during the D-Day landings and 6 years of war. Let us all remember those in the Royal Navy, Army, Royal Air Force, Merchant Navy and our allies, the brave people who kept us safe on the home front and abroad, and those in reserved occupations during the difficult time of war. Let us remember the brave doctors and nurses who cared for the wounded, the men and women who toiled in the fields, the coal mines, the factories, and the air raid wardens, police officers, firemen, ambulance drivers, and the young people of the Scouts and Guides who all played such a vital role in the war. Let us remember them all.